Dear Future Me, a story of high school digital pressure and finding your true voice. Jax, the leader of the Pulse, leaned against the lockers. His band hummed with a fierce golden light, signaling a new viral moment. You're fading out, Rowan, Jax said, his smile sharp and artificial. Tonight is the warehouse party. You won't get the invite without a band. Don't you want to belong to the future? Rowan clutched a textbook, feeling the pressure of Jax's digital world pressing in. Seeking an escape from the buzzing lights, Rowan retreated to the school's basement workshop. It was a place for obsolete hobbies, smelling of dust and old wood. There, Sage sat at a workbench, carefully reading a wrinkled piece of paper. Sage didn't wear a neon band. The noise out there is exhausting, isn't it? Sage asked without looking up. Everyone is so busy vibrating at the same frequency that they've forgotten how to hear their own heart. Sage held up the paper. This is a letter I wrote to my future self 3 years ago, she explained. It's a compass. When the world gets too loud, I read this to remember my own direction. Sage handed Rowan a blank sheet of paper and a fountain pen. The pulse tells you what to think now. A letter tells you who you want to be forever. Why don't you try writing one? Rowan sat in the quiet corner of the workshop and began to write. Dear Future Me, the letter started. I hope you aren't still wearing a wristband just to feel seen. As Rowan wrote about their love for old movies and the dream of becoming an architect, the heavy pressure in their chest began to lift. The pen scratching against the paper was a sound more real than any digital chime. For the first time, the pulse felt like background noise that didn't matter. The next day, Jax found Rowan in the crowded cafeteria. Rowan wasn't wearing a neon band, but the envelope containing the letter was tucked securely into their bag. Still no band, Rowan? Jax laughed, loud enough for the nearby tables to hear. The cafeteria went silent as Jax pointed at Rowan's empty wrist. You're choosing to be a ghost. Why would you want to be alone when you could be part of the most powerful group in school? Rowan felt the eyes of every student watching, waiting for them to crumble. For a heartbeat, the urge to hide was overwhelming. But then, Sage walked by the open cafeteria door. She didn't stop or say a word. She simply gave a small, encouraging nod. Sage was comfortable in her own silence, and that gave Rowan a sudden spark of courage that no glowing band could provide. I'm not alone, Jax, Rowan said, their voice clear and resonant. I'm just keeping myself company. Rowan reached into their bag and touched the corner of the envelope. This letter is my invitation to a future I actually want. I don't need a band to tell me I'm here. Jax's golden band flickered, momentarily outshone by the simple confidence in Rowan's voice. The students nearby began to whisper, but the mockery had vanished. A few days later, the basement workshop wasn't so empty. Rowan was there, and to their surprise, Jax walked in alone. He looked tired, the golden glow of his band now dark. Jax looked at the paper on Rowan's table with a quiet longing. The buzzing. It never stops, Jax admitted, sitting on a stool. I think I forgot how to talk to myself without an audience. Can you show me how to start? Rowan realized that true confidence wasn't about shouting over the noise. It was about having the courage to listen to your own heart in the silence. The neon bands eventually faded as the next trend arrived, but Rowan's letter remained a promise kept. Walking out of the school into the golden afternoon, Rowan didn't look for a pulse. They simply enjoyed the rhythmic sound of their own footsteps on the path they had chosen to walk. A high school short story about a student named Rowan who struggles with the pressure to conform to their school's digital trend, represented by a glowing wristband called The Pulse. Seeking authenticity, Rowan retreats to an old workshop where they meet Sage, who inspires them to write a letter to their future self. This act of self-reflection gives Rowan the courage to defy the digital crowd, leading to a powerful moment of self-acceptance and inspiring others, including the leader of the Pulse.